You'll not be surprised. It's a hard question. Well, vision of alternative Europe for me means, first of all, integrated Europe, or really integrated Europe, because like Europe always, I mean, EU is built on like half steps. So, like, monetary policy is integrated, but fiscal policy doesn't exist really. Like, and generally, like, everything is so slow. Like, if we should have an energy policy to be really independent from Gazprom or like, this kind of things. And we don't have it, like, or we're fighting for it, but it's so hard. We should have any defense policy. If you look at the situation now, the war is really possible, and it's still possible in EU. And let me recall the reason for EU, because I think like a lot of people just forgot why European Union was created, to support democracy. It was not the main reason. Of course, it can help in supporting democracy or flourishing it, but it was not the main reason. Was it welfare? Also, it was not the main reason. Preventing wars. This was the reason for integration. So where EU is mostly needed? In Ukraine, for example. And if you look how passive is EU actually, and how was passive before, of course you have sanctions, but mostly are symbolic and not really obeyed. Politicians from the blacklist are traveling all the time to EU. No one really respects it. So I would, for me, alternative Europe would mean like the Europe that really believed that the integration is possible. Why? Because only through this supranational level we can regain economic sovereignty. You won't have really efficient, politics and policies in the national states. So we have to count on supranational democracies. So from this point of view, I'm Euro-fanatic. I would love to have central power in Brussels. I would love to have a president. I would like to vote for one of the candidates. I would love to have political parties even. I know that political parties in Poland doesn't work, but I can imagine that they can work because they will have a choice. In the globalized economy, we will at least have Europeanized, democracy, and it can make people again influential, facing financial markets or facing corporate. It wouldn't be easy anyway, but it would give a power back to the people. Civil society is the only actor that can do it. Parties will not do it. Politicians, unfortunately, will not do it, and not because they don't want or because they are bad guys. Well, a lot of them are good guys, and everybody wants to be good. To divide the world for like good people and bad people is it's childish. The thing is that like they can't really realize their policies. Look at Syriza, left-wing party. Everybody really thought that, and everybody believed in it. And Syriza, is realizing the very right-wing program, not because they don't want to realize any other one, because the context forces them. They have no choice. So the only choice we can regain through social pressure, social movements. But of course, we have to overcome the problem how to turn from social protest to social movement. We have to overcome the problem of individualization and general cynicism as a natural attitude of the people. Okay, so they are not really committed. It's very hard to motivate them. It's very hard to put them together. But you can do it. Experience of Krytyka in Poland, of course, is local, and it's Eastern European. Europe is not so individualized like France, and it's a different context. But I can imagine that we put the proper pressure, and I am sure that only the only actor that can do it is a social movement. Well, of course, I believe that. in any institution you have like open functions of it and hidden functions of it, all right? Open functions is to really discuss the topics during the panels, okay? But actually many arguments you already know, counter arguments you already know, like, you know, a lot of it is predictable, okay? But the hidden functions of it, like to meet the people, you know, to have a common experience, you know, the only thing that creates this like this like togetherness among people is a common experience of doing something, you know, right? So spending some time together, like, you know, sometimes arguing about certain things. And then we're going to come back to one another, I hope, you know. And I hope it's not going to be only stupid, you know, touristic of activists, because it's something like this exists as well, you know. You meet the same talking heads, you know, and I'm not sure if they have enough time to do really something. I hope they have. But, like, of course, there are a lot of, it cannot be our lifestyle. But of course, it can also create some kind of, like, you know, new contacts, new faces, new possibilities. I hope it's gonna create some new possibilities for us.